I will do all the homework, right, okay, because it was new and um, they were getting harder as we went on, okay? So I'm going to do all the easy ones and the hard ones. I'm going to do the whole lot, right, okay? So number 3 reads 2 to the power of x equals 8. So this is written as 2 to the power of, so that means this must be written as 2 to the power of. So that's 2 to the power of x. You write 8 as the power of 2, so that's 2 to the power of 3 gives you 8. So 1 2 to the power of equals 2 to the power of, you knock those off, and you get x equals 3. Okay? So the first few are easy enough, right? But just to make sure, we're going to do them. So 3 to the power of x equals 27. So this is the clue here. This is 3 to the power of, so you write everything as 3 to the power of. So that's 3 to the power of x equals 27 is 3 to the power of 3. Because 3 by 3 is 9 by 3 is 27. Once you have a 3 to the power of equals a 3 to the power of, you knock it off and you get x is equal to 3. Right? For number 5, you get 4 to the power of x equals 32. Now, 4 to the power of x equals 32. Now, 4 to the power of, so you write 32 as 4 to the power of, but you can't, because 4 to the power of 1 is 4, 4 to the power of 2 is 16, 4 to the power of 3 is 64. So you're never going to land at 32. So that means you write everything as a power, go smaller than 4. So you could write everything as a power of what? 2, couldn't you? Right? Yeah, sorry. So you could write everything as a power of 2. So write 4 as a power of 2. What's 4? 2 to the power of 2. So 2 by 2 is 4. 2 to the power of 4 is 16, I'd say. Right? 32. 2 by 2 is 4, by 2 is 8, by 2 is 16, by 2 is 32. So that's 2 to the power of 5. Okay? Raising a power to a power, what's the rule? You multiply, isn't it? So multiply 2 by x is just 2x equals, right, equals 2 to the power of 5. Once you've one 2 to the power of equal to another 2 to the power of, knock them off, you get 2x is equal to 5, and then divide each side by 2, and you end up with x is equal to 5 over 2, which you can write as 2.5 or 2.5, or just leave it as a top level fraction. Yes?
When I was doing it, like, I just kind of, I kept it as 4. But I kind of like guessed it, put it into the calculator, and I put 2.5 in the calculator, and I got there too.
So you guessed it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you get full marks for guessing it. That's a perfectly valid way of solving an equation, okay? But you won't always be able to guess it, okay? Right, but guessing the right answer, girls, is full marks, okay, in algebra. Because they don't call it guessing, they call it trial and error. As in, you think of an answer and then you test it out and see does it work. Okay, and if it doesn't work, you go back and try a different. So it's a valid way of solving. Right, number 6 is next. So number 6 is 16 to the power of x equals 64. Right? So you can't write 64 as 16, because 16 squared is 256 or something like that. Okay? So what can I write 16 as a power of? 4 or?
8.
No, not 8. 2. You could also write it as a power of 2. So you can write it as 4, because 64 can be written as a power of 4, or you can write them as powers of 2. Your choice. You'll get the same answer. So what did you choose? What did most of you choose? 4. So how do you write 16? 4 squared all to the power of x. Right? 64 is 4 to the power of what? 3. So that's 4 to the power of 2x equals 4 to the power of 3. Then you knock off your 4's and you get 2x equals 3. I'll finish it over here if that's okay. And then you divide by 2. So you end up with x is equal to 3 over 2. 3 over 2, and if you want to write that as 1.5 or 1.5, that's perfectly correct. Okay? Right, the next one is number 7. Is 25 to the power of x equals 125. Right, what am I going to write each of them as a power of? 5. Right, okay, and girls, it's normally 2, 3, 4 or 5, okay? So you needn't, normally we don't go any higher than that, okay? Right, so 25 can be written as 5 squared, so that's 5 squared all to the power of x. 125 is 5 by 5 by 5, which is 5 to the power of 3. Okay, so that's 5 to the power of 2x equals 5 to the power of 3. Knock off your bases, you get 2x equals 3, and then you divide each side by 2, and you end up with x equals 3 over 2. So 1.5, 1.5, whatever you like. Okay, number 8. 9 to the power of x equals 27. Now, I could write 27 as a power of 9, but it's not possible. So what do I write everything as a power of? 3. So what's 9 as a power of 3? 3 to the power of 2, all to the power of x. What's 27 to the power of 3? 3 to the power of 3. So raising a power to a power, you multiply. So that's 3 to the power of 2x equals 3 to the power of 3. They cancel, you get 2x equals 3, divide each side by 2, and you get x is equal to 3 over 2.
Excuse me please, Betty Horgan, to reception, Betty Horgan.
It seems to be the go-to answer today. Right, how many got 3 over 2? I'd say that's the third one, yeah, in a row. Right, are we okay? Then we had number 9.
Yeah.
So number 9 is 8 to the power of x equals 32. Right. That can't be written as a power of 8, sure it can't. So write everything as a power of what? 3. As a power of? 2, thank you. So 2 to the power of 3 is 8, all to the power of x equals 2 to the power of 32. 2 by 2, it's very annoying talking over the talking. Really annoying. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 2 to the power of 5. Okay, so you need your fingers for that. There's no button on the calculator. Okay, so that's raising a power to a power. You multiply 3 multiplied by x is 3x. 2 to the power of 5. Knock off your 2's and you get 3x equals 5. And then divide each side by 3. So you get x is equal to 5 over 3, which is 1 2/3 if you like. Okay, harder to guess that one. Okay, in fact, I'll be quite confident you couldn't guess that one. Did you? Right, number 10 is the last one then. Okay, so number 10 is 16 to the power of x equals 32. So write everything as a power of what? 2. So 16 is 2 to the power of 2 by 2 is 4 by 2 is 8 by 2 is 16, 4. So that's 2 to the power of 4, all to the power of x, and 32 is 2 to the power of 5. So that's 2 to the power of 4x equals 2 to the power of 5. Knock off your 2's, you get 4x equals 5, and then divide each side by 4, and you end up with x is equal to 5 over 4, which is 1 1/4 or 1.25. Okay? Is that right?
Yeah.
That was it, wasn't it? Okay, I want to look at one that's underneath the line. So if I had is that down? Right, what example did I finish on the last day? Because we're going to continue on that example. So I finished on example 4, so I'm going on to 5. So for your notes copy, girls, example 5. Right, so if I had 3 to the power of x equals 1 over 9. Okay, so I'm going to write this. This is written as a power of 3. Sorry, example 5, was it? I forgot to write it down. Right, so I have to write this side as a power of 3. Sorry?
You're recording it.
I am. So 3 to the power of x equals 1 all over 3 to the power of what? 2. 3 to the power of 2. 3 by 3 is 9. Okay, now I can't have one upstairs and the other downstairs. Okay? Because 3 squared, 9 is 3 squared. 3 to the power of 2, isn't it? Okay, So the clue is over here to write everything as a power of 3. Okay, now this is upstairs, agreed? Upstairs? This is downstairs. Can't deal with that. They either both have to be upstairs or they both have to be downstairs. Okay? So I need to bring this one. Will I bring it upstairs? Okay? So remember that rule. If I bring 3 to the power of 2 upstairs, what happens to it? Becomes 3 to the power of minus 2. Now there's a 1 upstairs already. You can just ignore the 1 because multiplied by 1 you just get itself. If that was a different number, you couldn't ignore it. Okay? So the 3's cancel and x is equal to minus 2. Okay? Right, I'm going to do example 6 over here. So 4 to the power of x equals 1 over 32. Right. Can I write 32 as a power of 4? What is it so? Whoever said yeah, give me 4 to the power of what? What? You can't. Because 4 squared is 16, 4 to the power of 3 is 64, so you can't. So that means you have to go smaller than 4. So what will I write everything as a power of? 2. Right, okay. So 4 is 2 to the power of 2. All to the power of x. Now, 32 as a power of 2 is 2 to the power of 5, isn't it? 2 by 2 is 4, by 2 is 8, by 2 is 16, by 2 is 32. Right? Okay, so this is 2 to the power of 2x equals 1 all over 2 to the power of 5. Now I have a problem. This is upstairs, this is downstairs. So what have I to do? I have to bring this up. So I can move it. I'm allowed to move it as long as I do what? Change the sign. So bring up the 2 to the power of 5. What does it become? 2 to the power of minus 5. Then you have a 2 to the power of equals a 2 to the power of, knock those off. You get 2x equals minus 5. Divide each side by 2. And you end up with x is equal to minus 5 over 2. Which is minus 2.5, minus 2.5. But you can leave it as a top heavy fraction. Okay? Right. You're going to try one for me now. So I think those still up in teens from the last day. I think I probably took more than 10 sugar. Now here where are my teens? No, teens is this way. Figures. Oh, here I just put it up. Right, okay. So I want you to do 11 to 22. Yeah, for now and for homework. Okay, so it's page 82. 11 to 22. Do you know what? 11 to 23. So I'll just... Yeah, I'm putting it on Teams first. Just give me a sec.